No, there are variations
Mhm.
of the Centurion's armor. This time, what we wanted to kind of do is a more traditional setup. Is the armor structures and there's a bear type. You don't obviously don't see it from here, and then there's also the traditional sandals that will make it very looking like a centurion from the Roman. It's like before that it was a bit of a for honor fantasy on it, but this is
Mhm.
a bit going towards the traditional the armor sets, and I
Yeah.
think a lot of people were demanding to have this type of variations.
Yeah, well, these are amazing variations, but we have to talk about the rest of the season and the other heroes that are getting.
Of course, as we promised,
Yeah,
we
so
have
what can you
more
tell us about this year?
variations.
Yeah.
Exactly. Overall, I mean, as you guys know by now, the theme is a bit darker than before. I mean, the last season. We don't get to see all the details from this video. We don't see the back, so I'll leave that up to you guys to find out. But uh, there's also always a hint of darkness within every variations or the mystery. So as you can see from the Peacekeeper, you see a Venetian mask on top of it. So there's also, you don't get to find out what she's thinking of it. But then visually, it's a quite interesting culture that I wanted to introduce. Also, those white pelt is something that is quite new for the word, and also very traditional. Uh, the mask for Kensei's mask with the nice mustache. And of course, Orochi also just started to have the mask on of his own. Very interesting beard on the side. It's a metal, the mask.
He
I
doesn't
think
look
this
very
is his
happy. They
first
don't look
mask,
very
right?
happy. Yeah,
Yeah,
they don't
that's.
look happy at all.
It's a
Well,
dark season.
here we go.
Ah, the darkest one. I don't. What happened?
Yeah, I don't know what
What
happened
happened
to
to
Nobushi.
Bushi?
So angry. It's creepy.
It's a bit creepy. Yes.
Yeah,
And of course, the Shikoki, another pimped up version of it. It's very
nice.
bling bling.
Very nice. And so when you come up with these new armor variations, obviously you're trying to encompass, like if we're looking at the warlord, what are you trying to accomplish here? It's again in the spirit of creepiness, I'm
Well,
assuming.
not really, but at the
Intimidation.
same time, when we read the Reddit, there's always a demand from the player, and that's I'm trying to kind of get satisfy there. So the one of the mask you saw it from the warlord is the one of them that people wanted to have a full mask version of the warlord. So there is a one variation that you will be able to use it to make sure that he has a full mask.
Edgy. Edgy as all hell. So now you added a Gucci chain? Is that what that is? Is that
A little bit of a
a little
little
bling
bit of
bling?
style here and there,
Yeah, of
bling bling
course.
here and there.
Walk into the club, you
Another
know what I
very
mean?
yeah, another cool variation from the set, the new set that we introduced last time for the TND. For Shaolin, that's a very expressional mask. Another version of the Monkey King that we created.
I don't know how
A
to
bit
describe that
surprised.
face. A little bit like surprise. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Surprised. Oh,
Ooh.
that's what I'm imagining.
Very cool patterns and nice engravings on Nuxia,
Mhm.
and a mask version of JJ.
JJ's not looking as happy-go-lucky this time around. I'm sad to see that. Okay, well, that being said, that's not it, right? We've got to talk about obviously the weapons that are coming with this season. So, what can you tell us about the weapons? And I know that we've got a cool video to look at all of them. So, what were the this again is when we talk about the armors that we just saw. These are the lootable items that you get from end of match drops and stuff like that. So, let's dive into the weapons, maybe.
Right, sure. I think there's a for season 14. There's a special weapon that we wanted to make uh, uh, for a special player.
Yeah, so
Clarissa
yeah,
can.
Yeah, so the first weapon that you're going to see is the Warden's weapon, and this one's special because it's for one of our players, Ogi, who honored us with his Make-A-Wish request, and so we chose Warden because he said the Warden is his favorite weapon, and he named it as Ogden's Revenge. So shout out to you, Ogi, and to your Make-A-Wish chapter, and we hope that you're doing well during these times.
It was our pleasure to make a specific weapon for Ogi.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so, apart
Uh,
from that,
this-
when it comes to the weapons in the actual kind of theme of the season, obviously I'm seeing a lot of green. I can see that as maybe the common theme for these weapons.
Right. Overall, the color of this season is a toxic green, and it's applied to throughout the whole weapon. You can just guess what that means, and then you'll find out eventually.
Yes.
These are just the reskinned weapons, and only the Black Prior. I think we just passed it, and the Wu Lins will have new visuals. But other than that, those are just the reskinned version. Just to remind you guys.
And of course, guys, we're doing this from home, so we don't have the flexibility of necessarily doing this live and taking the time and maybe even looking at your comments. So obviously, you guys could take a look and pause the video whenever you want to take a look at maybe your mains weapons. But obviously, these are all going to be available starting next week, June 11th, for Year 4 Season 2 Tyranny. For those of you who may be joining us late on the live stream, which is not very live because it's pre-recorded. But that being said, Andrew, for this season, we're gonna let these play out and take a look at all of these new reskin weapons. But what are you most excited about?
It's something that we weren't even be able to showcase right now, but then we'll slowly unveil the stuff, and as we are moving on, that it's going to be there.
So we're just at the tip of the iceberg, is what you're saying, basically.
You know what? I actually just want to reveal everything.
No,
Oh,
Andrew, you can't do it. Andrew, don't do it. Don't do it.
I'm gonna. I own if I had the player that I can. It's all in here. I saved it.
That's incredible.
I just
Always
couldn't
with
find
the
the player.
pros.
Give 1 second. No.
No, Andrew, you can't choose a VHS. This is 2020. We can't do this, okay?
We don't
That's
do this
enough.
anymore.
No. That's, even as a boomer myself, I say that VHS it's done. That being said, okay, so we took a look at the weapons and armors that have to do with the lootable aspect of this season's content, but that's not all, right? Because we have the Battle Pass. Year 4 Season 2 is coming out with a new Battle Pass as well, and there's items that are related to that, so we can maybe take a look before we dive into the actual weapons of the Battle Pass. We have a few items that we want to highlight. Obviously, this is going to be themed around something that's a bit more dark, as we mentioned. So we can roll the clip right now and take a look at the flagship items of Year 4 Season 2's Battle Pass. So what can you say about this?
Well, Season 14 introduced a new type of dark. It's a new order called the Horkos. They arrive, and we don't really know what they are trying to bring with them. We'll find out slowly. There are a lot of mysteries that that will be unveiled throughout the season.
It's insane.
It's here. It's all in here.
Yeah, I mean the journey is gonna unfold itself for sure. So that looks like a yummy juice. Okay, so let's keep going here. That being said, we've got the weapon sets. We're going to take a look at the Horkos Trophy Head Free Roam emote. So that's all part of the Battle Pass. Again, this is new content coming with Year 4 Season 2. The new weapons, you're getting a sneak peek here on our on the Centurion and the Valkyrie, but we'll actually dive in a bit deeper with the next video that we're going to show you guys for the Battle Pass weapons. So let's launch the video, but what can you tell us about this particular set of weapons that are a part of the Battle Pass for Year 4 Season 2?
Right. The theme of these weapons are the alchemy, the rebirth, and the mysticism. These are the main topic that this first part of a season uh, season, and our weapon design will kind of reflect the trend of this dark time. The like main material that I use for this one is the red gem, or the we can call it like red crystal. Usage will be, you will find out soon. Always
Man,
assume.
all you're doing is teasing these guys. I can't keep
What
up
can
here.
I do? What can I do? Others are the brass and the gold. The suede leather is another one, and lacquer wood for the samurai, and the oxidized metal, which you can see it as a little bit of tint of a bluish metal that you get it. That's those are the main material that we used. It the color wise, it's a bit more saturated, so you will kind of see it. It's a very vibrant. And it's all the designs and weapon designs are inspired from the medieval. It's kind of bizarre illustration. When you kind of search for alchemy, you see a lot of this type of interesting illustration that they have. They are kind of a fantastic and decorative and artificial in a way. And when you look at the design, there's a lot of hatching lines. It's kind of a straight hatching lines, and the themes there are a sun and there's a moon and creatures, animals, and geographical shapes, and it's a lot of a cool thing, and that made our job interesting to do.
And the
For this
colors are and the colors I can, this we just went through the first set, which was for the knights, but I can see also the colors are like a bit more vibrant and a little bit stand out a bit more than the rest of the seasons maybe.
They will really pop out during in the battlefield. That's the point that I wanted to bring. It's something that when you kind of carry it, I wanted to make it. It's like, that's it's unique. It's a decorative stuff. It's not threatening, but it's like, that what the heck is this?
I tell you right now, I would
wanted
put every piece of weaponry that you're showing in my kitchen, just like on top of like the splash. I think these are absolutely breathtaking. Incredible work that you guys did. There's geographical shapes, like you said. I'm not much of a mathematician. I failed math 3 times, but I can recognize them. It's incredible.
It's just when on these weapon sets, we wanted the themes to drive whole weapons. Normally, we divide it into each faction, so each faction has their own identity of the weapon, even though the theme is like, let's say, fire or ice. But this time, I wanted to kind of really stick with the culture, as I did it for the previous one, the Prince of Persia. This one is another very unique one that will kind of make a good collection in your armory. I hope.
These are beautiful. I think the hope is pretty much guaranteed here. These are beautiful, beautiful weapons. So now that was the samurai. Now we're moving into, I believe this is going to be Viking. There we go.
Well, that's good. If you don't recognize it right away,
exactly.
I think we kind of succeeded.
Yeah, there you go. Beautiful.
It's an incredible job that's been done in Chengdu studio. So I thank a lot for them. Very talented people in that studio.
Very talented. Very talented. When it comes to art, when it comes to art, I think my biggest creative achievement is being able to draw a heart, and that's pretty much it. Like, I can do a heart not bad, like on a first try, but even then I have to erase sometimes. So the talent that's here compared to mine, quite drastic difference.
It's quite interesting. This one for the Clarissa.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna collect them all. Well, I mean, like, you can when you're, because it's all in the battle pass. So.
For Yorm. Insane.
Oh, this one's my favorite. The shield.
We're literally using the shield as a canvas.
It's insane.
Well, it was fun. It was really, really fun to design this.
So this is for the Warlord. Again, the shield, just again, breathtaking. Insane. Again, the details that have to do with this, we're looking at the Black Prior. This was a Harbinger hero, so they didn't get that set because they didn't exist. That's how that works. That being said, for it to be fully that kind of dark and black material, you need to actually apply it over and above the gear sets that are available during this event. Again, this is a 3-week event from June 11th, which is next week. Actually, it's today. We're June 4th when we're recording this, actually. My bad. And then it ends July 2nd, so you have the availability of these gears and these weapon sets that we'll take a look at. But do you have any favorites in this, Alex?
Definitely the Black Prior.
Yeah,
with that Grim Reaper look. It's so cool.
And this, of course, is the Wulin.
Yeah, for me, it's these guys. They didn't have it. Well, I guess the Harbingers didn't have it either first time. So these are all new, and they are crazy. And each one's crazier than the last.
It's nuts. And
the
obviously, you
really
guys see